the Global Peace Foundation. It is from this broad-based platform that we need to work to concretely demonstrate the effectiveness of this value-based approach in addressing critical issues of peace and opportunity in communities and nations around the world. That vision statement is simple and clear. That all people, regardless of nationality, race, ethnicity, or religion, belong to one family under God.
Hello everyone, how are you?
Right now, actually, we're part of something very, very massive, no? We have around, I think, 180 schools, 12,000 young leaders. And this is really a 13-year legacy that has transformed over 500,000 lives.
Global Peace Foundation, together with SM Cares, we keep on organizing Global Youth Summit because we believe in the potential of young people.
We are designed to live in a community that doesn't harm the future. This isn't just a big idea for the government or business to figure out. Each one of you, yes, you, has the power to make it real.
We want to lead people, we got to be better at exposing our pain so we can be stronger to lead the next generation.
When you stand up for someone, when you challenge unfairness, when you choose kindness in a loud, angry world like we have right now, you are already leading.
Dapat yung gamitin ang inyong boses, lalo na pag may nakikita kayong mali.
Right now,
We need such a unifying vision. We need to recognize the vital importance of the self-evident, transcendent truths that define our common humanity. And we need to build consensus around shared values to undergird the creation of vibrant, prosperous, ethical societies. It is precisely for this reason that I founded the Global Peace Foundation. It is from this broad-based platform that we need to work to concretely demonstrate the effectiveness of this value-based approach in addressing critical issues of peace and opportunity in communities and nations around the world. That vision statement is simple and clear. That all people, regardless of nationality, race, ethnicity, or religion, belong to one family under God.
right now, actually, we're part of something very, very massive, no? We have around, I think, 180 schools, 12,000 young leaders. And this is really a 13-year legacy that has transformed over 500,000 lives.
Global Peace Foundation, together with SM Cares, we keep on organizing Global Youth Summit because we believe in the potential of young people.
We are designed to live in a community that doesn't harm the future. This isn't just a big idea for the government or business to figure out. Each one of you, yes, you, has the power to make it real.
We want to lead people, we got to be better at exposing our pain so we can be stronger to lead the next generation.
When you stand up for someone, when you challenge unfairness, when you choose kindness in a loud, angry world like we have right now, you are already leading.
Dapat yung gamitin ang inyong boses, lalo na pag may nakikita kayong mali.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys can properly hear me. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can properly hear me? There you go. Good afternoon, everybody. I would say salamat siyang samuanya, mabuhay from the Philippines, and hello to our distinguished leaders, partners, youth, peace builders across the Indo-Pacific and beyond. My name is Dren, and I serve as the Communications Officer of Global Peace Foundation Philippines. And I'll be your host for today. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the January 2026 Indo-Pacific Peace Forum. A big round of applause for that one, you guys. So before we formally begin, just want to remind everyone in the Zoom right now to kindly change your name into your correct spelling of your full name, so that once we generate the file later on, we can use that correct spelling of your name for the certificate. So while you are doing that one, you guys, again, to those who are listening in the Zoom right now, and while you are doing that, I just want to give a special shout out to those who are tuning in from the Al-Azhar University, Indonesia, Sriwijaya University, Taman Siswa University, Cebu Youth Ambassadors Incorporated, Supreme Student Council Society of the Philippines, ASEAN Youth Advocates Network, wow, Bangsamoro Student Organization, we have Bilimoria High School in India, we have Universitas Negeri Semarang and Universitas Muhammadiyah Kalimantan Timur, and many more youth organizations all over the world are joining us today. And that's the spirit of the Indo-Pacific youth. We are all well represented today. So we just need to keep that energy going. So, by the way, we are actually live streaming via YouTube this afternoon. You can check that out via GPF Indonesia YouTube channel. To those who can't join us in the Zoom right now, you can tune in via YouTube. Again, that's via GPF Indonesia YouTube channel. All right. So by the way, everybody, today's gathering actually centers on a powerful and timely theme. Let me read this to you. Scaling youth-led peace models, values-based leadership, and community resilience in the Indo-Pacific. The Indo-Pacific is actually a home to the world's largest youth population, and at the same time, some of the most complex peace and governance challenges. Indo-Pacific Peace Forum was established on the conviction that peace is not only negotiated, it is lived, protected, and it is lived, protected, and led, all right? Especially by young people grounded in values and moral leadership. So to open our forum and set the moral strategic framing for today's discussion, it is my honor to invite the chairman of the Indo-Pacific Peace Forum, a global advocate for principled leadership and peace building. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Markandeep Rai. Hi, Sir Rai.
Yes, thank you, Dren.
Surely.
Good morning from India and good afternoon at Philippines. Can you hear me? It's loud and clear.
Yes, you are.
Oh, great. I think I can see the energy and the power of your introduction. And to start this session today, which is the most important session in the near past and the future, I can understand that Indo-Pacific Peace Forum Youth Edition, which is beginning now. Let me say good afternoon to all the participants and all the, especially the young leaders, and very warm welcome to everybody who is joining today. In a very historical moment, we are starting the youth edition of Indo-Pacific Peace Forum. And then has very clearly mentioned how important youth are. If you want really to transform the whole world and to see a better future for our generation and to the coming generation, youth is the solution. Youth is the solution, I underline. It is truly an honor to open today this gathering, and I'm sincerely thanking each of you to joining today. We are meeting at a time when world is facing so many problems of conflict, polarization, and you know all what is happening, especially in Indo-Pacific region. There is a situation where it looks like that this conflict will transform into a world war. In that situation, it is only hope with the youth of this world to make sure that we protect our Mother Earth and we should promote peace. Not only Indo-Pacific region, rather Indo-Pacific region will become the torch bearer to make sure that whole world and whole universe is peaceful. No one should be left behind. And with that one, today's forum is for the young people rising with the courage, creativity, and leadership to build peace where it is most needed. There is no boundary for it. Peace does not know the boundary, conflict does not know the boundary, climate change does not know the boundary, and Corona didn't know the boundary also. So we are living in a world where we are interconnected. We talk about world is a family. We are one family under God. And with that message, everybody belongs to us. We belong to everybody. Like a drop of water is a part of the whole ocean and the water. And whole ocean and water is concentrated in a drop of water. So each one of us are the part and parcel of the whole global community, and we proudly welcome around 200 youth participants joining through Zoom and YouTube, and I really appreciate and admire two co-chairs, Mr. Heriono Tarjono and Honorable Datu Yusuf Abu Bakar Paglas, for their dedication, leadership, and excellence coordination in preparing this program. I will miss if I don't mention others, and especially my good friend and regional chairman, president of Global Peace Foundation and Indo-Pacific Forum also, Dr. Angel Ra. His all efforts has brought us together, and I'm sure connecting with the Uganda, Palestine, Korean Peninsula, and Philippines and Indonesia. Youth will lead this torch, and we will see that we are getting solution for the problems and issues, and I can say the crisis, especially the crisis which coming in the world. World was never younger than today, and India, where I belong, more than half of the population are youth. Median age is 29, and few months before, when there was a meeting on ocean in Barcelona, and later on also Secretariat of United Nations apologized on behalf of my generation to the young people. And he expressed that hope for the world, peaceful world, a better world, a prosperous world, where we will achieve sustainable development goal is in the hands of the young people. Only hope for the world is young people. You are not the leader of tomorrow. You are the leader of today. You are the leader of tomorrow also. You have to shape the future of the whole world. And we are honored to welcome perspective from Korean Peninsula also, including the courageous youth was originally from North Korea. Now South Korea citizens who is contributing to this important global dialogue. Our guiding vision today is expressed through a simple but powerful message of one family under God. We are one family, and that way we can protect the earth, we can protect our humanity. And this message is not just symbolic, it is both moral and strategic. It challenges us to view one another beyond label and beyond borders. You know that problems and issues nowadays do not know the boundary. So we have to see that any problem anywhere on this earth is our problem, and we have to find the solution. I express appreciation for the youth committee members, partners and organizations, speaker and special guests, and all youth participants across the region. And I proudly feel that 200 young people can transform the whole world. Today is the beginning of that movement. It's not a program. I'm seeing it as a movement. Youth are ready, youth want participation, youth want recognition, and by building the youth, we can build the world. My slogan is build the youth, build the world. And we have to work with them, and we have to not to preach them. Rather, I have changed my philosophy from 2012 when I proved that youth is energy, and not using the youth in a proper way to build the nation and build the world, it is wastage of resources. They are not nuisance, they are not problem the way the world was depicting. And when I was organizing Indo-Pacific countries, and I mentioned that youth are the solution, youth are the energy, and we have to work with them with lot of humility, respect, and we have to work with them in the three stages of give, love, and service. That is what today we have to learn together, how we can help, how we can share whatever we have. Then love, unconditional love to everybody, not only the human being, everybody on this earth who is living and non-living. And then finally, youth is ready to give service, and with that service, we can make this world better. I acknowledge the youth committee co-chairs, and I have done it, Haryono, Tarjono, and Yusuf Abu Bakr Paglaz, and those who have joined from Uganda, Palestine, Korean Peninsula, Philippines, and Indonesia. I really thank them, congratulate them, and I look forward for their full participation, meaningful dialogue today, and check out the roadmap, how we want to proceed, we want to lead, and how youth can contribute in all the conflict, wars, and differences going on, and look like that unless we go soon, I think it will be too late. So, key message today is peace begins when we recognize shared humanity. Differences in regions, ethnicity, and nationality should not divide us, and we should promote the the purpose of forum is give a space for youth leadership, a platform for sharing real peace models, and a moment of building lasting peace. And we want to reinforce also today when we are spending time today, youth are not only beneficiaries, youth are co-creator and solution maker. They are the solution. And with that one, I think Anchor Kampung Swang of Indonesia and peace through interfaith harmony, trust-based community living, and preventing model. All these will come in our discussion, and perhaps we will bring the program to to see that how we can make the pathway to to make this movement now. Beginning when we are just starting today, that that movement should enrich and encompass all the youth who want to join with us and to contribute to make this world a better world to live in. We have to think of also that by participating today, we will encourage everyone, especially our young leaders, to listen not only with interest but with purpose and ask yourself, what can I take from today and apply in our own community? What kind of peace initiative can we start locally? And how can we collaborate across border and build a stronger youth network in the future? Together we will win. Divided we will lose. So we have to give the message to the youth. We don't have time in our side. Time is of the essence, and without delay, we should think how we can transform the society, the country, and the world for a better world to take care of everybody as one family under God. So, once again, I thank you all for being here today. I hope this forum will inspire all of us, strengthen our partnership, and most importantly, move us towards real action. 21st century is not century of dialogue. This is a century of action, solution. And today is the beginning of that one. With these few words, I thank you all and Dane also to, to be the MC of this whole program and really appreciate that in his guidance and leadership and his directions, we will come with a very fruitful, very suggestive roadmap which is doable, and I'm sure we will win. We will be victorious. We will succeed in transforming the whole world where love, peace, unity, and harmony will prevail. Thank you so much, Dan.
Right. Build the youth, build the world. Thank you so much, Dr. Rai, for grounding us in the moral vision that anchors Indo-Pacific Peace Forum's work. For decades, youth have often been viewed as recipients of peace programs. Today, the Indo-Pacific Peace Forum advances a different paradigm, youth as co-creators of peace systems, not merely participants. To speak on how IPPF is shifting its youth engagement from dialogue to institutionalized actions, and how young leaders are shaping peace frameworks across the region, may I invite the co-chair of the IPPF Youth Leadership and Peace Building Committee, Mr. Hireyono Tarzono. Big round of applause to you guys.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished speakers, IPPF Board of Committee, Dr. Makandire, participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is really honored to be here to join with all of you to learning and sharing together in this great forum. This forum is a clear reflection of the commitment of today's young generation to peace. especially in times full of uncertainty like today. Youth are no longer positioned merely as beneficiaries of peace initiatives, but as active actors and co-creators in shaping and sustaining peace in our community. Today, we will hear a lot about the real action of young people in the Bangsamoro region of the Philippines, in Kampung Sawah of Indonesia, from the Handala Project, from the Palestinian youth, Korean youth, and also Ugandan youth. Across different contexts, young people are showing, demonstrating that peace is not something to wait for, but something to work for through dialogue, collaboration, and concrete action. This forum is one proof that youth have put to capacity and responsibility to contribute meaningfully to peace building effort. Let us continue to empower young voices, strengthen partnership and collaboration, and move forward together in building a more peaceful and better future. It is like a Dr. Makandere mentioned, build the youth, build the world. So, distinguished speakers, participants, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf Youth Committee of IPPF, I'm welcoming all of you and please enjoy the forum. Thank you.
Much, Dr. Heriono, for reframing youth leadership as a shared responsibility and a strategic force. Before we will proceed to the main discussion for today's forum, I'd just like to remind everyone, to those who are tuning in Zoom right now, if you're not speaking, can we mute ourselves so that we cannot interrupt the discussion? And to those, again, who are in Zoom right now, kindly change the name or your name in the Zoom into your correct full name so that we can generate later on the correct spelling of your names for certificate purposes. All right, hope you're guided in that way. So ladies and gentlemen, we now move into the core framework of today's forum. The two pillars of peace: restoration and prevention. Our first pillar focuses on post-conflict transformation, drawing lessons from the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. The BARM, or the BARMM, represents one of the most significant peace transitions in Southeast Asia, where youth are no longer on the margins, but active participants in governance, reconciliation, and social rebuilding. It is our privilege to hear directly from a leader at the forefront of this transformation. Please welcome Commissioner Nasirundin Dunding of the Bangsamoro Youth Commission. Hi, Commissioner.
Hello, thank you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إنما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم أما بعد Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Greetings of peace to everyone, to our youth champions across the Indo-Pacific who are joining us this afternoon, to the organizers, to the GPF, and the rest of our youth champions across the Asia and of the world who are joining us this afternoon. Magandang hapon. Good afternoon to all of you. Let me say first thank you to one of my younger brother here in the Bangsamoro who invited me in this conversation, board member Dato Yusef Paglas, whom I believe is one of your strongest champion in this initiative, because I think in the past years he have also initiated the Global Youth Summit in his local area in Maguindanao del Sur. And the rest of the participants from both Philippines and outside Philippines, good afternoon. At this point of time, we'll be discussing about the sharing of perspectives on the peace key successes and key peace challenges as well in our area, specifically in working with youth and development work. As you all know, our area, which is Bangsamoro is an identity We are the 13th region of the Republic of the Philippines, but we just gained autonomy in the year 2018 when the Republic Act 11054, also known as the Bangsamoro Organic Law, was passed into law. But before that, there was about 40 to 50 years of negotiation between the government of the Republic of the Philippines and the revolutionary organization called the Moro Islamic Liberation Front that represents the Moro people, the Bangsamoro people in the southern part of the Philippines. So we are, you can find us in the southern part of the Philippines. We're composed of 5 provinces, Maguindanao del Sur, Maguindanao del Norte, Basilan, Tawi-Tawi, and Sulu was previously part of our region, but it was already excluded by virtue of a decision from the Supreme Court. So Bangsamoro is a Muslim-dominated region in here, and we are the only autonomous region in the whole of the Philippines. We were granted autonomy from the Republic of the Philippines after a long battle of negotiation and dialogue with regards to our identity. During the crafting of the law that created the our region, we were very active. The young people here were very active to include in the foundation of the law to have a serious note that the government should look at the rise of young people, because of course at any cases, even in us in the post-conflict area, uh, like us, um, one of the most vulnerable, not one, but at least a sector that is most vulnerable in these cases is the young people, the children, and the women in any case of war. That's why we were very, very passionate that time in looking so to have a very strong foundation of youth intervention when the new government, autonomous region, will be built. And that is why it was included even the most core although before that, just to give analysis on our scenario. So there's a table, a peace table, where the stakeholders are sitting, the government and the revolutionary organization. There was this framework agreement on the Bangsamoro, which was passed somehow in 2012. Then in 2014, there's a so-called comprehensive agreement on the Bangsamoro, CAB. So the two annexes of this agreement that we sign with the national government and of the regional government or the revolutionary organization has the normalization track and the political track. So this government, the Bangsamoro government, is part of the political track, and the normalization track is the decommissioning of combatants, the about 42,000 combatants called the Bangsamoro Islamic Armed Forces, which is the arm wing of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. So we are now in the government side, in the political side. So in short, we are a post-conflict scenario, no? So young people are very familiar of these matters. That's why also we're very strong that when the new government seated, we were very, very passionate, engaging in the creation of a commission, and that is the commission where I am sitting today. So I was with the commission since day one. I serve as the chief of the technical division. Because I am from international NGO before I entered in the government. So then I was appointed commissioner, I think, for about three reappointments now. I'm serving my very last term in the commission as the chairman, the chairperson of the commission, looking on the decision making of young people and also formulating policies in this case. So in our context, if you know the differentiation of conflicts, if you are in the loop of peace building, conflict management, conflict resolution, and the lots, I think there's 5 on that. But in our case, we're very much particular now with conflict transformation. As you know, the definition of conflict transformation in the context of young people is not only merely stopping the conflict or something, but it is transforming the narratives, transforming the mind, and transforming the communities of young people. So what is it in the case of BARM? So post-conflict transformation to us is defined as we are moving beyond cessation of hostilities. That's the first one. The second one is rebuilding social trust, institutions, and collective values, because of course we came from a scenario that we fight against the national government because we really want to instill that we have our own identity, and that must not be erased in the southern part of the Philippines. So it is about rebuilding the social trust. That's why we engage with the government institution, also the combatants, the young combatants. We have a project with them. It's called 3Ps, or Positive Peace Project. It's a 3Ps in which we engage the young combatants with Philippine National Police, with TESD, with leadership. We gave them funding to start also with their respective initiatives. The third one is the most important one in a post-conflict transformation. In the case of us, why? Because we need to address trauma, we need to address grievances, and we need to address exclusion. No, Muslims in the Philippines are minorities, but um in our place, there's also other minorities. Our region, we have the non-Moro indigenous peoples, the NMIPs, and also the settlers community. So it's minority under minority. So we have that kind of uh, um, uh, community. That is why we're very much particular of inclusion, because the issue of exclusion is still under it's being discussed politically and all, and of course the grievances of everyone, the grievances of the past, and the addressing the trauma. That is why just 1 week ago, our parliament also, because we're the only our system of government is parliament. We're the only parliament region in the whole of the Philippines, so we have parliamentary form of government. So just last week, we just the parliament has just approved the Bangsamoro commission on reconciliation, something like that, and it would really address, hopefully, inshallah, the grievances uh, um, that is still under, because we're still in the transition. We haven't yet the very first election. We're supposed to have that in 2022. It was extended, and I think there's another law now that will that also the Supreme Court would say that the election would be March 20, but there's a confirmation now from the COMELEC that the election will not be pushed through because they lack of time. Now, moving to the challenges of a post-conflict transformation place like us. In BARM, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, so we call ourselves Bangsamoro. Um, the very famous context from us is we came from a long history of armed conflict between the state and the Moro groups, not only to Moro Islamic Liberation Front, because I'm member of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, particularly the political committee, but we also have the Moro National Liberation Front, the former group who had an agreement with the state, with the national government. As I mentioned earlier, we have the 2012 Framework Agreement on the Bangsamoro, and we have the 2014 Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro that gave birth to the Bangsamoro Organic Law in 2029 that created our region. So the name of our region before is Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. It was just only added letter B in the first name. So it's a Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Now, looking on the restorative approaches that we are doing as of the moment. So we apply the core principles of um, dialogue. So that's number one. We keep on doing dialogue specifically between young people in Moro communities, non-Moro communities, and also the settlers communities. Community involvement is the second one. It's very very important, and the very important also on the thing, transformation and not resolution. So it's about deepening the system, the conversation, the addressing of the grievances, a lot of things. Now, looking on the restorative practices that we're doing as of the moment, First is we do repairing the harm. The second is we ensure that accountability in the commission and of the government, because we represent the government now. And we do, of course, the inclusion of affected parties in everything that we identified. And the last one is relationships and social repair, no? Because again, we are in a transitioning um uh uh place, country, no? So those are the things that we are doing in the case of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. We also have in the National Youth Commission, but we were created by different law, so we are existing in different mandate. So of course we work with them. I am very closely working with Chairman Ortega and Executive Director Leia Villalon. So um um our initiatives focusing on peace building, because we are in a transitioning scenario right now. And the other one is we keep on involving and engaging the young people to political dialogues, because we will be soon having our election. And the very first election for BARM would be very, very different from the election for of the other election in the whole of the Philippines, because we're parliamentary. We will be voting 40% of uh the seat in our parliament will be voted through the political parties. The uh sorry, that's 50%. So 50, 40, 10. 50 is for political parties, 40 is for district representation, and there is 10% for sectoral, in which the young people will elect their own member of the parliament who would represent the young people in the very first election of the BARM. So these things, in the lens of post-conflict area, we really need to do our best to let our communities understand this, because our communities, they are keen on just the looking on the last names of the personalities running in the government, because it's the usual thing in the Philippines. Dynasty is very, very famous and happening in the country, and that is one of the things that we would like to address in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, because we want already to putting up anti-dynasty law in our local government code, and hopefully it would really maximize also possibilities of having good chances to our good citizens of our region. The other thing that we do in our region, in the lens of youth participation, is our very own and very famous Bangsamoro Youth Parliament, in which we engage all of young people in the other areas, also including the sectoral representatives, to debate on their respective issues. And we are bringing on all of those issues to the regular uh, uh, parliament. So far, these are the things that I could share you in the opening of the discussion, and I hope you would still you'll have some other questions in your mind, just in case that because I just mentioned now a foundation of a discussion, of a conversation, which is very important, because processes in doing so with the conversation is very important. So we could have more of if you still have question with regards specifically on the uniqueness of the introduction of our new regional government in the Bangsamoro. So let me give back the floor to our very good facilitator to continue with the discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Assalamualaikum
much.
warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Magandang hapon po sa ating pong lahat.
Magandang hapon, Commissioner, and thank you so much for sharing that insightful sharing. I myself is from Mindanao. I'm from Lanao del Norte, and it's
Oh.
very insightful to learn those things, because I've been working in Manila for years now. But hearing those things that you are doing, those activities or those programs in the BARMM right now, it's interesting to learn that. And hopefully, we will be able to have a more session with you so that we can raise more questions, we can have a dialogue. For the moment, to those who are listening right now in the Zoom or in the YouTube channel, if you have questions, just follow the pages that we got for Commissioner, for you to be able to raise questions and invite them for speakership or possible future engagement with you guys. Again, Commissioner, palakpakan natin sa mga Filipinos out there. Let's give our hands to Commissioner Dunding for sharing how peace can be rebuilt when institutions, values, and youth leadership work hand in hand. Very interesting, right? So if you can share your takeaways in the chat box, please do so that we can have an interaction later on. But moving on to our second pillar brings us to a different but equally powerful peace model. Listen to these guys. Proactive peace and conflict prevention. Kampong Sawa in Indonesia offers a rare example of sustained interfaith harmony where Muslim, Catholic, and Protestant communities have preserved peace before conflict emerges through shared culture, family ties, and everyday cooperation. So to present insights from his research of Kampong Sawa as a living laboratory of peace, we are honored to welcome an Armenian academician and researcher. Let's give our hands together to Mr. Ararat Kostanyan. Hope I was able to pronounce that properly.
Yes. Thank you very much for the given opportunity. And I would like to thank all the organizers and participants today. I would like to share part of my thesis, which is I have conducted a fieldwork in Kampong Sawa in Indonesia, and I'm doing comparative analysis with also a part called Norkyuh in Syria. But today I will talk only partially on Kampong Sawa. Well, of course, the important thing here, as Dr. Rai mentioned before, when there is ongoing conflicts, whether regional, whether out of big power competition, that disrupting the notion that peace can be long-standing. I'm calling this, there are many, theological terms, stable peace, durable peace. What I have chosen here in my work is permanent peace, because I'm showing historically how Christian and Muslim societies, when due to urbanization, they started to be relocated and populated in Kampong Sawa, and how they have emerged to have long-standing peace when this area, if we look historically, it has been dominated by Christians, Protestants and Catholics, and how being very close to the capital Jakarta, this place, it started to become strategic, especially when the new roads and highways had been built that connects to Jakarta. Many people started, who has cousins there before, or new immigrants from other regions, they will to move to that region. But in general, in Indonesia especially, social cohesion and peace is often represented from the perspective of tolerance. We hear often tolerasi. I believe that we should look at it beyond tolerance or negative peace, where Galtung has presented in his famous research. What I have found, and I'm presenting the model, is based on complementarity. What I'm saying, complementarity in ethnic, religious, and political spheres creates permanent peace and sustained social cohesion. I'm looking to two theories. I'm actually combining two theories. One, social cohesion, which I'm calling sustained social cohesion, because if you don't have daily social cohesions, it's very difficult, I think, to create long-term permanent peace. And the other model is peace. And in this regard also, if you are looking only from the social science or social cohesion perspective, it's very ununderstandable to describe what is this peace beyond social cohesion, socializing the field. And I believe complementarity should be in parallel in three spheres. In order, the society can create a complete societal structure. What I mean, three spaces is social, cultural, religious sphere, and political sphere. And you should have a true complementarity, field enrichment in every field. For example, when they have created the cultural complementarity in Kampung Sawa, we can see that how they have generated the local wisdom as a causal mechanism, and how complementarity between local wisdom has been generated, sustained social cohesion. For example, in Kampung Sawa, the original people have been, or Pribumi indigenous people who are famous in Kampung Sawa, they are Betawi people, which we hear often when they call the Betawi local wisdom, which is the idea of unity based on a family. They say that the family is like a tree that has different leaves. So the tree is the family or the region they are living, and the leaves are diverse ethnicities and diverse religious affiliations, which they call each other brothers, and they call each other in one family. That notion of brotherhood or brotherness, if you might say, in local wisdom has created so they can complement each other with also Javanese mysticism or Javanese local wisdom, which is based on Gotong Royong, which will be translated as mutual aid. So when there is this notion that it has been very famous, the region has been in rice fields, these communities or family members, they had started to create unity, mutuality based on mutual aid in farming, or when they started to generate festivals while they were farming, they needed to create a social order which is based on mutual aid. So these two complementary local wisdom has been one of the essential keys that diverse ethnicities and diverse religious affiliations, they have been united under the local wisdom, the local wisdom of family brotherhood ideology, if we might call, or philosophy better. The second field is the religious sphere. How they've been able to enrich their religious sphere. They have created this notion, I call it godliness, when they accept the concept of one God, namely Christians and Muslims, they had on elite level and on even horizontal societal level, they had this conception of we belong to one God, it's monotheism. Therefore, we have to also be engaged in godly humanism, which is reciprocity, but based on we believe in the same God. So the salvation has important role here. So we should enrich our spiritual life and complement each other in spiritual field based on the notion godliness. For example, Christians has been, especially the Catholics, performing their charities for building Islamic religious worshipping places such as musallas. And in Eid al-Fitr, for example, the Christians has been on elite level, they providing food for the Muslims. And another example, the Muslims and Christians together, when there is Christmas or where is Eid al-Fitr, they together, each community, Christian community has been organizing the parking area for the Muslims, that because from the region, whether it's Christmas or whether it's Eid al-Fitr, many people come to this region, not only the residents of Kampung Sawa. So how they have done this service to each other based on not only based on just we are humans, we have to help each other, or based on reciprocity, you help me, I help you, but they emphasized the role of godliness, and their action, they termed it as godly humanism. So we help the other because he also believes in the God that we believe. So if I help him, I also become better in my religion perspective. Like if I love the other who believes in God, I also loving my God. This notion was very clearly articulated. And also on a horizontal level, this godliness comes to societal or among ordinary people understanding when they not only out of respect or out of acceptance or out of peaceful coexistence or out of tolerance, they visit the neighbor, just celebrate or etc. But they have created a societal system that, again, based off the notion of godliness, they join together in celebrating both Christmas, New Year, and both Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Adha. They cook together. Even the Christians, they bring special food during Eid al-Fitr, and they cook together and they celebrate together. Not only as a respect, but again, they think that if the Muslim goes to the Christian celebration, it's a spiritual it's a spiritual celebration that, although religiously in dogma, in theology, in values they are different, but one value of godliness makes them that this celebration also kind of my celebration, because it celebrates the love or appreciation or salvation to God. Also, there is here very important factor, the mixed marriages that has been conducted in Kampung Sawah. That comes from the idea of the kinship, which they have been this Betawi family or the Betawi community when Kampung Sawah has been established. Some people in the one family, one is Christian, wife is Muslim, or etc. The father is Muslim, the daughter is Christian. So they believe that religion is a personal matter. You have the right to choose your religion, but the important thing that you follow that religion and you become a religious person. This is very important because in many countries, I think we say that I'm Christian or I'm Muslim, etc., but they don't much follow the religious duties or dogmas. But in this term, they are pretty, both Christian and Muslims are conservative in a positive way. Here, conservatism is not fundamentalism or exclusivism, but at the same time, they have this understanding that the godliness can unite us whether we have different religions. But also the interesting thing here that the families, there are many examples in one family that they pray together. Of course, everybody in his space, but the praying, mutual praying, also created a kind of sustained social cohesion and permanent peace to be first within the big families, and that's the influence of the surrounding of Kampung Sawah. In this term, the mixed marriages example is also very important in terms when everybody is conducting its own space, the prayings, that is not a mixture of religions. The religions are not creating mixed or hybrid religions. Everybody is keeping its identity, but at the same time, everybody can be also in one area doing their prayings in different rooms or different settings. And also, I found out that the religious complementarity also gave two sides not only tolerating each other or living peacefully, but at the same time helping each other in sense. When I asked about how they feel about the azan or how they feel about the church bells, because the religious sides are very close to each other. And it became interestingly that some people said the conservatism in a positive way, devotion of the Muslims 5 times praying, etc., also was helpful for the Christians because it has been a reminder for them that also they should have their prayings, because in Catholicism some say that there is a 7-time praying. And also about the voice of the azan, it's for Christians that is not annoying or that is not kind of discharging from their religious duties, but they say it's give them the emotion of calmness. So in this term, these two version of godliness has created the complementarity spiritual field enrichment, which has given the lasted social cohesion and permanent peace within the spiritual field. The third factor, I believe, which is very also important, is the national ideology. In these terms, in how it enriched the political sphere. Of course, here, if we look at the community level, there is no clear political sphere like party participations or representations. But what is here uniting them is also complementarity based on national ideology. We focus here on ethnicities because, as I have mentioned, Kampung Sawa has been originally a Betawi identity, but due to the urbanization, which gradually started from mid-2000s and after more people started to come to Kampung Sawa, that it has given to them to present each ethnic nationalism as well by festivals. Each, for example, the Betawi, the Javanese, the Flores, the Sundanese, each has been able to create one group which has been initiated by the Catholic Church to present regularly their cultural clothes, their dancings, and their foods. And at the same time, they presented this to strengthen the brotherly philosophy that is very well articulated in the national ideology of Indonesia, Pancasila. So also when we asked the Muslim sides, they had this clear consciousness that we all are Indonesians and we all have the national ideology that can unite us. So these two ethnic and ethnic level nationalism and state level nationalism complemented each other, thus enriched the political field sphere. And the result, if the measurement or the proof, if we would like to see on this matter, is that historically, especially after 98, which this region became important due to the democratization process in Indonesia, where identity awakening, national identity awakening become a very important issue when everybody wanted to present or articulate their identities. The result from 2013 until 2024, we can see that the majority of Kampung Sawa people, diverse ethnicities and diverse religious affiliations, they all the time voted mostly to the powers that they were considered nationalist, holders of the nationalist ideology. So to conclude, if we can see the picture of how these three spheres has been complementarily enriched, the social, cultural, the religious, and the political, we can see that how the exclusivist tendencies, both from some Islamist group or even very tiny Christian exclusivists who didn't want to go beyond the other cultures, only to be landlocked within their culture. These two small factions were not having the opportunity or willingness to penetrate this constructed societal structure. Of course, some Islamist groups have tried by locating in Kampung Sawa to spread the Islamist notion. They were approaching the Muslims not to celebrate or not to say Merry Christmas to the Christians. Even some considered not to shake hands with the Christians. But that factions stayed isolated and small, and it was not able to penetrate and disrupt this socially constructed system or order, if we might say, between the Christians and the Muslims of Kampung Sawa. So at the end, I would like to mention why this is important to conduct such research on the ground, not only to use secondary sources, but go to fieldwork, because I believe long-term peace to people or even to some scholars has been seen as utopian, even if when I talk to scholars or intellectuals or ordinary people in general, while I was in my country, in Armenia, that I'm conducting a program on long-term peace. The result, the reaction I get from them, oh, is that possible? Is there any long-term peace in reality rather than from theories on the ground between Christians and Muslims? So we need, I think, to conduct such research, not only on theoretically based, not for only conducting for PhD thesis and publication for books, but I'm willing in the future to make this finding as also practical tool, small, very practical book, that how it can be able ethnically and religiously diverse communities to have to create together complementarity on the ground that results for peace. So I believe that will be very beneficial and for the youth also, because what I'm talking is not only focused on elite and the older generation, but here the whole community has been participated in all these celebrations. And the example that I have brought, the parking area charity work, is conducted especially by the youth. Thank you very much. I would like to thank you again for the invitation, and I hope we can prove that long-term peace and sustained social cohesion is not only utopia, but it's real on the ground as well.
Wow. Thank you, Sir Ararat, for unselfishly sharing the results of your study. While listening to
My
that,
pleasure.
it's actually, you're giving me a picture that it's really possible to live a community where there's differences, however, we are united with, as you mentioned earlier, I would just like to highlight, united by the local wisdom of family under one God. That's so powerful. Thank you so much once again, Sir Ararat, for reminding us that peace can be preserved through daily human relationships and, of course, moral commitment. Grabe. Let's give him a big round of applause for sharing that results of his study. Hope you guys were able to take note of that important facts from the two powerful talks that we got this afternoon. But wait, because there's more. We now turn to a local or global conversation. This rapid fire panel brings voices from Palestine, East Africa, and the Korean Peninsula to reflect on one key question. How can Southeast Asian youth-led peace models be adapted to different conflict and cultural contexts? Each panelist will be given with a 2-minute reflection, hopefully, followed by an interactive discussion. To moderate this important exchange, we are honored to welcome Honorable Dato Yusef Paglas, Senior Board Member of the Province of Maguindanao del Sur. Honorable Dato Yusef, the floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum.
Sorry, sir, you got muted. Again,
Sorry.
I'll retake the introduction. The floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Good afternoon to everyone. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Dati Yusuf Abubakar Musali Paglas. I am a government official from the Bangsamoro region, particularly in the province of Maguindanao del Sur, and I will be the moderator for the the rapid fire panel. So welcome to our rapid fire panel on scaling youth-led peace models, values-based leadership, and community resilience in the Indo-Pacific. Today, we explore how youth-driven peace initiatives developed in Southeast Asia can be adapted to local realities in Palestine, in East Africa, and the Korean Peninsula. So our panelists, they bring first-hand experience in translating values into action across diverse and often complex environments. For our panelists, I'd like to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves. So in 2 minutes, please introduce yourself, your organization, and one key youth-led peace program or initiative that you are leading. Briefly describe how this program reflects values-based leadership and how its approach could connect with or adapt lessons from Southeast Asian community-based peace models in your local context. Should we begin? Let's begin with Mr. Mohammed Abu Hasira, founder of the Gaza Peace Initiative from Palestine. It's an honor to hear from you, sir. Mr. Abu Hasira?
Hello. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
Floor is yours.
barakatuh.
Alaikum salam.
Thank you for your invitation for this event. I am talking from Gaza, from the most important place for the religion, from the Holy Land. At first, I want to notice that we haven't religious conflict in Palestine, in the Holy Land. We are praying all under one God as one family. I want to say about Gaza from resilience to action, building peace through practical projects. Ladies and gentlemen, in Gaza, we don't usually ask our children, what do you want to be when you grow up? We ask something more basic. Will you grow up at all? I am speaking to you today not only as someone from Gaza, but as the founder of the Gaza Peace Initiative, a youth-led effort born not on conference rooms, but under pressure, loss, and responsibility. I am not here to ask for sympathy. I am here to speak about how peace can be built through action, even in the hardest places. Redefining peace from Gaza. For us in Gaza, peace doesn't begin with negotiations. It begins with dignity. Peace means education that continues despite trauma, communities that refuse the collapse, and young people who choose responsibility over despair. Through the Gaza Peace Initiative, we learned one thing clearly. When politics fails, community-led initiatives survive. That is where peace becomes real. What Gaza has taught us, our work on the ground has taught us three lessons. First, community resilience is the foundation of peace. Families replace broken systems. Neighbors replace absent institutions. The second, youth aren't a risk. They are the solution when trusted and empowered. Third, values-based leadership is lived, not taught in Gaza. Leadership is a doctor working without electricity, a teacher holding a class during bombardment, a young person creating hope without resources. Values aren't slogans, they are survival tools. From vision to practice, peace projects from Gaza, peace must move beyond language. Let me briefly share three practical models we are developing and promoting through the Gaza Peace Initiative. One, Youth Peace Leadership Program. We work to equip young people with the skills in conflict resolution, ethical leadership, community problem solving. This program can be expanded through online and hybrid partnership with institutions across the Indo-Pacific. Our goal isn't to produce speakers, but local peace leaders rooted in their communities. Two, Gaza Global Human Storage Platform. This user-led digital platform allows young people from Gaza to share real stories. What the real stories of Gaza? Education under pressure, resilience, a
Sorry,
grassroots.
Mr. Abu Hasira. Sorry
Yeah,
to interrupt you, but if it's okay for you to only give a brief introduction, because we need to give the others a little bit of time also to introduce themselves before we go into the discussion on our topics for today.
I am talking how to apply peace in Gaza. We live under hardest genocide in the world. We are in the most important place in the world for religious. You know that I talking about the actions to do in Gaza. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abu Hasira. We will dive more into the narrative on Gaza in the discussions. But for now, let us also give time to the other panelists to introduce themselves. So may we continue before anything else to Miss Juyeon Kim, the manager of Unification and Connection in Korea. I am if my pronunciation of your name is wrong, please do forgive me. The floor is yours. And I would also advise the panelists to please keep your introduction for a little bit under or 2 minutes or maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Mm, Uh, distinguished representative of IPPF and young leaders from around the world. Thank you, sincerely, for inviting me to this important forum. So I was born in North Korea and studied in Russia and now live in South Korea. Today I speak as one voice of North Korean youth to share how international solidarity can support the peace on the Korean Peninsula. One key fact must be remembered. The Korean Peninsula is still at war. Since 1953, the war has not ended. It has only been paused. This reality still shapes the lives of North Korean youth today. North Korean society is highly militarized and closed. Young people do not free choose what to learn, what to dream, or how to live. Their future is decided before they can explore their own potential. Global conflicts such as the war in Ukraine also affect North Korean youth. Rising tensions lead to stronger control and greater pressure, and young people carry much of that burden. This shows that peace is not only a regional issue, but a global responsibility. In this divided reality, international solidarity is not an abstract. It shows isolated use that other choice exists. For the Korean Peninsula, solidarity is not only about reducing military tension, but also about breaking psychological barriers created by long-term division. The word I value most is choice. We cannot choose where we are born, but we should be able to choose how we live. Yet for North Korean youth, the chance to choose is readily denied. I was fortunate to make the choice to come to South Korea. I then made another choice, not silence, but action. I continue to speak and act on the issue of peace on the Korean Peninsula. Currently, I am involved in an international youth leadership program called KYLA. Through this program, I saw Indonesia how different leaders coexist peacefully. That peace was built not only by system but by trust and long-term commitment. It gave me hope for the Korean Peninsula. Peace does not come quickly, but when international solidarity continues, a recovery becomes possible. Your authentic sense message to North Korean youth: the choice is made when they exist. The Korean Peninsula is still at war, but peace depends on the choice we make today. So choosing international solidarity can open your opportunities for North Korean youth and for our divided world. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Miss Kim. Now, let's move on to our another panelist, Miss Lobna Abu Hamyadan. The floor is yours.
Okay. So, walaikum assalam, everyone. Thank you, first of all, and thank you, Chair, fellow panelists, and colleagues. As a Vice President of Handala Project, my name is Lubna Abu Hamyadan, and I am a half Palestinian Filipino, rooted and is living currently in Southeast Asia, Philippines. So basically, I'm joining you from a place of both deep grief and stubborn hope. So just to have a brief introduction about the Handala Project, I'm also one of the co-founders of Handala Project here in the Philippines. Handala Project is a nonprofit and a volunteer-based initiative inspired by the iconic symbol of Handala, a cartoon personifying the Palestinian people depicted as a barefoot 10-year-old boy with rugged clothes with his hands clasped behind his back. So Handala Project mobilized Filipino youth to stand with the oppressed through social media education, information campaigns, and through the conduct of educational forums and dialogues within different organizations here in the Philippines. So we are guided by our core values, JASER, which is justice, activism, service, solidarity, empowerment, and resilience. So we wanted to turn sympathy into a sustained action. So our vision in Handala Project is to basically, hopefully in the future, a generation of young people from the Philippines to the Palestine and the wider world, empowered to resist injustice, rebuild hope, and protect life with the courage and compassion. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lubna. And I am also a member of the Handala Project, but I've been inactive, but I'm still very supportive of the Handala Project. Now let's move on to our the fourth panelist, Mr. Khalid Nakabale, Director of the Global Peace Leadership Corps from Uganda. I am very sorry, sir, if I'm mispronouncing your name, but the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, our moderator, Yusuf Abubakar. I remember we once met in Philippines 13 years back. Thank you for chairing this session. My name is Khalid Nakabale. You didn't pronounce my name bad, but it is Khalid Nakabale. I'm the Director, Global Peace Leadership Corps, Uganda. And to share with you some insights of some peace models that we have decided is we have different peace models that we're focusing on. But today I would like to share with you at least one. And it is going to be about the sport for development and peace. Like you know, sports is a major tool of bringing young people together in the whole world. And it has been recognized by the UN and other agencies that it is a great peace building model of bringing about young people coming together and sharing different views and making some peace projects. On the same, here in Uganda, sports is a powerful tool in fostering dialogue and empowering young people to lead in peace, unity, and cross-culture understandings, and across the whole continent of Africa. With this, we do train and teach young people life skills programs. We do conflict resolution initiatives, health and wellness of different programs. That is by bringing the young people together. You know, you have to use different tactics in motivating and encouraging young people to come about to do certain things in the communities. And this is one of the tools that I personally, with my team, use this side here in Uganda. Yeah, thank you so much. I think that is all I can share with you at the moment. We will be driving into depth of the different programs that we do that can be adopted, and us getting some peace models that you people are doing in the Indo-Pacific region. Thank you so much, moderator.
Thank you so much, Khalid. And now that we have heard the introduction of our panelists, we can now start with our questions. Now, we will only be giving about 2 to 3 minutes, or maybe even 4, for the panelists to answer these questions. I will be posting or reacting this emoji on the screen. And if you see this one, wait, where did it go? Or maybe I can just type on the chat box that I'll chat this one, and that means you only have like 1 minute to finish your answers. So now for an insight or questions, these questions are open to all of the panelists. Anyone can answer. You can just raise your hand if you want to answer. And I will be giving 4 questions for this one. These are practice-based insights. So the first question would be, what is one concrete activity or intervention your organization implements that has demonstrated the strongest impact on youth leadership in your community? Anyone can answer. Should I, yeah, or I'll say it again. What is one concrete activity or intervention that your organization implements that has demonstrated the strongest impact on youth leadership in your community? Yes, Khalid, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much once again. Yeah, one of the concrete activity that is being demonstrated and have impacted greatly in our communities, like I've said, is the Sports for Peace. The Sports for Peace has, we've seen positive results while doing this activity in different regions. It brings about many young people from different regions of the country, and you might find one time we did a tournament where we invited different teams from different regions of our country: the Western, the Central, the Northern, and the Eastern. But like you know, young people aren't that too much connected when it comes to this bureaucratic stuff. But when you bring them sports and put up some awarding like awarding ceremony, like if someone happens to play, he will win such and such a trophy. He will go with medals. He will go with this. We've seen greatly it is impacting our communities. And another achievement that we've seen, many of them have gotten scholarships from different universities, different secondary schools, different primary schools. And I think with such a project in our country, we're really realizing our goal of the implementation of sports for peace. Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you, Khalid. Yes, and in some parts here in the Bangsamoro region, we've also done such an initiative because it helps to give back to young people or to give them something to look forward to for them to be really to be not the word is persuaded or maybe inspired to enter sports and to use their time in engaging activities such as sports because it leads so much to better ideas or future for them. Mr. Muhammad, yes, you can answer the question. The floor is yours.
Okay, I want to say about community healing micro grants. We support small trusted community-led initiatives such as psychological support for children, informal learning spaces, arts and sports programs for healing. This initiative are low cost and high impact and led by those closest to the pain and the solution. This project we are supporting in Gaza.
That is very nice to know, sir. It's very
Okay,
nice
thank
to hear from that part of the world, especially now that we're doing our best to amplify voices from all other places, especially now that everyone is tuning in to many different catastrophes that are happening worldwide. Thank you, sir. Yes, Miss Lobna, you are recognized. The floor is yours. Miss Lobna,
Oh, sorry, I did not hear that. Okay,
I on mute.
so yeah, sorry.
I apologize.
No, it's we had like a truck, so it's okay. Okay, so basically in our on the here in the Philippines specifically, we do a lot of educational information campaigns because we see that a lot of people are confused about the Palestine issue, or they don't really understand what's the beginning of that issue and etc. So we basically provided the information most of the time through social media. We also do educational forum online like this one. And we also conduct educational forums and dialogues on site whenever a university here in the Philippines would actually, or an organization here in the Philippines would invite us to talk about the Palestinian issue and basically break down the information from pre-colonial pre-colonial Palestine until today, what it had cost the so-called conflict and the genocide here in today. So basically, it's very important for us to understand first the information because without information, a lot of people are confused. They don't know what to do, how to support, and why is this going on. And until you give information, that's when they basically grasp what's the issue is and understand it and sympathize and create action. So this is why our initiative here in the Philippines specifically is very important, is to shed light not only for the Palestinian community. Our main focus is Palestinian, the Palestine, but at the same time we also shed other communities as well, like what's happening in Sudan and in other regions in Africa as well and in Asia as well. So through this, I hope that the youth can also understand that there are there are so many like genocide, I would call them, not conflict, like genocide around the world. We just don't know about them because they are not broadcast. They are highly propagandized, like they are highly hidden from social media and from the outlet news, and that's one of the reason why we do not know about it. Yes. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that. And I think that part, giving information, is one of the most important thing that we should do as a leader, to give to the youth as well, so that the more information they have, the more knowledge they would use in order to convert the knowledge into action. So yes, thank you so much.
Yes, I totally agree with that, because without information, how can we establish the basis or the foundation of something we're fighting for, right? So yes, thank you so much, Lobna, for that. Miss Kim, do you want to add to the do you want to answer that, or we can just move to the next question? Okay, so yes, Miss Kim, the floor is yours. Oh, okay. So for the next question, it's the same thing. Anyone can sorry, Mr. Muhammad, you're raising your hand. You are recognized. Mr. Muhammad?
Yes, me?
You're raising your hand.
Yes. I'm talking about a project we are supporting, but we had another project I talked about before. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad.
Okay,
so,
thank you very much.
yeah, I guess we can go to the next question. Anyone can answer as well. So the second question would be, what challenge did you initially seek to address, and what underlying issue did you later realize was most critical? So what challenge did you initially seek to address, and what underlying issue did you later realize was most critical? It could be in any context of the organization that you are in. Anyone would like to? Okay, Miss Lubna, the floor is yours. You're recognized.
Okay, so basically the first we began Handala project actually. We did not begin it by creating the organization. We began actually was when I called a lot of individuals here in Davao City specifically to help me basically send aid to Gaza and basically support some organization here there in Gaza and the people there, specifically in northern region. So what happened is I later realized that our biggest challenges is the lack of information. So that's why I emphasize in our organization that information is the most brutal one, because if you do not have information, then how would you basically let them understand and support you in any ways, in any type of initiatives that you are talking about? Because without understanding, without information, they would not basically, they're just having a black mind about, okay, what is this organization is about. So and then basically that's where Handala project came into place, and we are raising more awareness about the Palestine issue here in the Philippines, since there are so many that do not know, even within the Muslim community as well. Yeah, so people would say that, okay, we are Muslims, we should know more about Palestine, because it is the second holiest place in our religion. But there are so many things that they do not understand, and basically why Palestinians had been occupied, and it had been occupied for 70 plus years already, and until now it is under occupation. And a lot of also Muslims do not understand why a lot of people in Palestine is resisting in various way, whether it is peacefully or non-peacefully, because a lot of them had to do that what they had to do. And this is why information needs to be there all the time, first of all, before any type of initiatives that comes through. information awareness. So that's first, and then the action comes later. So yes, so that's the thing that I would like to share.
Thank you, Ms. Lubna. What about the other panelists? Any specific challenge that you've faced that you initially seek to address? Yes, Mr. Khalid, you are recognized. The floor is yours.
Thank you once again, Mr. Yusuf. One challenge that we got to realize this side is limited funding from both the government and the private sector. It is not easy securing consistent funding for different projects that we want to run. But one solution that we're planning to have is always having our own social enterprise businesses for our local projects that we are doing. Another challenge is access to resources. You might find there are some rural areas that you want to do certain projects so that you see your fellow youth benefiting, but access to these resources, like the facilities, isn't that all good. So it is somehow challenging in implementing some projects in such areas. We also have an issue of cultural barriers. You might find that some communities in Uganda may prioritize traditional roles over youth engagement, and it is making life for the young people difficult to come and be part of these peaceful initiatives that we're implementing in such areas. Yeah, that is what I can share at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Khalid. So what about Mr. Muhammad? Ms. Kim, do you want to answer the question? What challenges did you initially face, or did you initially wanted to address or talk about? And what do you think was the issue that was more critical? Oh, it's okay. So maybe if we can move to the next question instead, because we have two more.
Mr. Yusuf, sorry
Oh,
to
yeah.
interrupt. This is Hee-ryung. I'm working with Miss Chu-hyun, and if I may, I'm very happy to help her with the translation because she
Oh, yeah.
has really many contents, and if time allows.
Oh, yeah, sure, no problem, Miss Hee-ryung.
If Miss Chu-hyun has something to share, if she speaks in Korean, I will translate in English.
Oh, that would be perfect, Miss Hee-ryung. The floor is
Thank you.
yours.
Okay.
한국에서는 통일에 대해서 사람들에게 공감을 얻기 위해서 일을 해야 되는데 사람들의 마음이 이제 한결같지가 않다 보니까 그 문제가 제일 어려웠던 것 같아요.
The most difficult challenges she faced was that in order to talk about Korean Peninsula issue and unification, it's really important to gain empathy of people. But since it has been 70 years and there is a political fatigue, so it was very difficult to gain the empathy and solidarity among Korean people.
Thank you, Miss Kim. Thank you, Miss Hee-ryung. Mr. Muhammad, would you like to add to that, to the questions on challenges?
No, thank you. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
So to sum it up, the question, the things that are challenging to begin with was mainly they were information, source of funding, and the lack of the political fatigue that can be experienced over a whole various period of time. And I think these challenges are also very interconnected with one another. It goes to show that how similar we're facing similar problems in each of our regions, and we are bound to come together to offer a solution that can be of benefit to all of us, even if we live in different areas. So that is a very good thing to ponder on. So we proceed to the next question. Which role do youth most effectively play in your programs? Organizers, mediators, advocates, or service leaders, and why? Again, I repeat, which role do youth most effectively play in your programs, and why? Anyone? Okay, Miss Lubna, floor is yours. You're recognized.
Okay, so in our organization, the most crucial ones are the organizers, because without the organizer volunteers, basically we would not be able to do a lot of things that we had been doing. And I think like since we are just like a new organization, we are just like 1 year operated, and all of this awareness and all of this, like I cannot do it alone as a leader. I need others also to basically hold it with me, and try to connect with other universities to gain information, and basically to give them the information that we have about the Palestine issue and all of that, so that they could create their own initiatives on the university, and basically make sure that our campaigns is still going and going. So that's number one. And basically number two is what else? So number two is also like basically the way that we communicate is very important also, because language matters. So when it comes to raising awareness and all of that, we also yeah, so we I yeah, so basically the language matters, volunteers matters, specifically the organizers, because other things can follow, because without the organizers, like for example, like you, Yusuf, you organize this forum. So without you pushing, or basically the Global Peace Foundation, without the members pushing for this forum to happen, it would never happen, right? So basically the main, that's the same thing that we had in Handala project as well. That's why for me, organizers are the most important, especially the organizer who are volunteers. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Lubna. Mr. Khalid, yes, you are recognized. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Miss Rubna. I think I will align with her on the same, because here also they do mostly want to engage in volunteering and leading in organizing such projects, because this makes them feel they are being part of these initiatives that we are doing, and that is gaining experience and also getting connections from the different people that they are meeting. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Khalid. I think we need to move on to the next questions. So, but basically, just to understand that, I would just like to repeat what I said earlier when it comes to the challenges and when it comes to the role of the youth. I think each of us can offer insights on how to address certain issues and how we can basically just learn from one another. So I would like to direct the panel to the next. There's another set of questions for you. Anyone can answer. Maybe we can just reduce into a little bit more timely answers, so that we won't take too much time, because we have more questions. Also, there are also more questions individually. So for these new sets of questions, it's centered upon what works and what does not work. So it's the same thing. I'll ask a question, and anyone can answer. Um, Anyone of the panelists can answer. So I think the first one would be centered on the approach. So what would be, or what approach or strategy proved effective in theory but did not succeed in practice in your local context? What do you think are the strategies that did not succeed in practice in your local context? Anyone can answer. Yes, Miss Lubna.
So, oh boy. So we had so many challenges. Yusuf know about this. So the first thing, like when we begun, actually, we needed support from many in many ways. Like, and we thought that it's gonna basically be smooth. I don't know why. We don't know why, but we thought it's gonna be smooth, but it didn't. So the first thing that we had the challenge is we did not have enough support for us to go on to many of our initiatives. So I just want you I just wanted to give the youth that that's okay, and that's the beginning. And hopefully in the future you will gain support as you make more initiatives. So you do not just stop when you start. You actually be consistent about what you advocate for in any type of ways. Like for example, in Handala, we basically started social media only because that's the only thing that we can afford, and also the time, and we do not have any financial support to go to different regions in the Philippines and all of that. But as we gain popularity in social media, we utilize social media and created an educational forum there. And as we move forward, more and more universities wanted to partner with us, wanted to know more about our initiatives, and wanted to basically support us. And now, as we can see here, the Global Peace Foundation also noticed us. So that's a good thing. So you do not stop when it is slow. That's actually one of your biggest challenges. And you should move forward as much as you can, especially the leaders, because the leaders will lead the team and the volunteers. So if the leaders are inactive, everyone is gonna be inactive. So yeah, so that's one of the biggest challenges that we thought is basically we will gain support smoothly, but as we go, we just find out that it's not that easy. We need to gain the trust of or other organizations via our initiatives, and we utilize whatever is free in our whatever is free, like our laptop, our computers, our phones, our time, our free time, what else, like our knowledge, the YouTube and all of that, and also social media. So that's how we leverage the things that you can, and hopefully your advocacy will later be seen. But do not stop when you face one challenge. Yes, so that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Lubna. Yes, Mr. Khalid. I would also like to remind that this would be our last question, because we are unfortunately we're running out of time. So I would like to hopefully hear from everyone on your answers on this last question. Yes, Mr. Khalid, the floor is yours.
Thank you once again. One approach that we had here in Uganda was, I'm sorry to say, if we have some religious leaders here, but one strategy we had was working with religious leaders. On paper, it seemed that it was all going to be okay, and we would get whatever we were planning to get. But in the long run, we found that the same leaders, you might find that a leader from a certain religion doesn't connect well with a leader from another religion. I won't be specific because of some reasons, but you go to an office of one religious leader, you present to him or her your concept that you're having, the program that you're planning to run. Unfortunately, he tells you, are you working with such and such a leader? If so, count me out in your project. And this was a big challenge because religious leaders have a lot of followers. They have got numbers here in our country. So working with them as partners was seen as a tool of engaging as many young people as possible. But with that, we opted to running to the cultural leaders. That is where at least we've gotten some positive results, and cultural leaders never had as many misunderstandings as those of the religious leaders. And working with the cultural leaders also helped us in knowing and getting to know the cultural norms, what the different cultures need, so that we can align with them when doing the different projects that we had. Yeah, that was one challenge that we always face this side. Thank you.
Thank you, Khalid, for that. Yes, Miss Kim, you are recognized. The floor is yours.
I speak Korean. 직접 북한에서 살아본 사람들이 북한의 현실에 대해서 알릴 수 있는 그런 콘텐츠를 개발 중인데, 연령대별로 어떻게 전달을 할 수 있는지에 대한 면에서 가장 어렵고 지금 현재 노력 중이고, 혹시 이에 대해서 들으시는 관중분들도 좋은 아이디어가 있으면 좀 알려주시면 감사하겠습니다.
As I mentioned earlier, our primary challenge is building a shared consensus on unification, and we are testing various strategies to address this. So one key project is developing content that features firsthand anecdote stories, accounts from North Korean defectors to reveal the reality of life there. The most challenging part is tailoring these messages so that it can resonate with different age groups, but we are working hard to bridge that gap. So if anyone in the audience has creative ideas on this, I would love to hear from you.
Thank you for that, Miss Hiryong and Miss Jiyeon Kim. Thank you for your time. Mr. Muhammad, do you have any thoughts on this one? And we can proceed with our final words. Is Mr. Muhammad with us? Okay, okay. With that, maybe we can conclude our panel. But for this one, it would be a closing reflection. I'm going to say a phrase, and I would like for each member of the panel to complete it. So the phrase would be, youth-led peace becomes sustainable when... Who would like to go first? Yes, Mr. Khalid. Floor is yours.
I think when youth are actively engaged and included in all the programs that are being run in their societies and communities. Thank you.
I certainly agree with that, Mr. Khalid. Ms. Lubna, you are recognized. The floor is yours.
Okay, so basically, three things that I would like to tell the youth is in order for you to sustain, number one is you first listen more than you talk. You can't advocate for a community if you haven't heard their heartbeats. Number two, consistency is everything. Don't tone down your message just because the room changes. Never do that. And third, pass the mic. For example, at Handal, our job isn't to be the star or whatever. It is to give the younger generation the tools and to lead the cause themselves and to make more awareness and basically, hopefully, change legislation in the future. So, and because the changing of legislation means there is going to be more justice in our society and in our law, which basically minimize and degrade conflict in the future between communities within the same region. So yes, so these are the message that I would love to say.
Thank you, Miss Lubna. Miss Kim.
So thank you listening to today, and um, we have empathy.
Okay, let me step in. Chuhyun said, "Youth-led peace becomes sustainable when we have empathy." Is that right, Miss Chuhyun? Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Kim and Miss Hyun Kim. With that, I would also like to add my take on the matter. Youth-led peace becomes sustainable when we amplify the voices of the youth wherever they are. So, with that, we conclude our panel talk. Thank you so much for coming, for sharing your insights. And with this, I would like to close this panel by stating that today's discussion reminds us that while models can be shared, peace must be locally rooted. Scaling youth led initiatives is not about replication alone, but about cultivating leadership, trust, and ownership in every community. Thank you to our panelists for translating values into action across regions. Wabillahi tawfiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I think, Yusuf, you still have to stay with me, right?
yes.
Thank you once again to our panelists for those powerful reflections and sharing across the region. Hearing those stories, talagang for Filipinos like me, and to the rest of the young people tuning in right now, it's motivating to hear those stories and from those people who really experience it from the ground level. So thank you so much to our panelists. And as IPPF moves from conversation to action, we now invite everyone to, of course, reflect on their own role in peace building. This forum is not only about learning, it is about commitment. So again, to lead us in a call to action and the articulation of concrete peace pledges, we return you guys to Honorable Dr. Yusuf Paglas.
So, sorry. Wait, give me a sec. I'm having a technical difficulty.
It's okay. Yeah, once again, to everyone tuning in, please share your insights or your takeaways in the chat box so that we can also read them. And if again you have questions, if the discussion earlier at some point tickles your mind, you can follow those speakers and probably ask them personally in their socials so that you will be able to receive firsthand answers from these speakers. Because of the limited time we've got, we were not able to deeply converse individually the topic or the matter that they have shared earlier. And me myself, I'm so thrilled to discuss with them one by one. How can we help as Filipinos as Filipinos, young people, in addressing and volunteering to their respective projects and program. Are you good, Joseph?
Hi, yeah, sorry, I'm back. So with this, thank you so much to everyone who gave their time to join this forum. it being online, I guess, is one of the the um, the good ways in which where we can share our ideas, our advocacies, to reach further places in the world without actually traveling to these places. It's a very good space for us to discuss, a safe space for us to discuss issues that are very imperative, that are very important, that are very relevant to our time. And as we go about our days, as we go about our future, we remind ourselves that this world, when we found it, we need to leave it better than we found it. We need to do whatever we can, even just to amplify simple voices or small voices around us. When calling to action, when creating a change, where challenging norms and debunking established norms that are not necessarily centered or focused on our narratives, we reach out, we amplify our own voices, we speak and we scream louder until it becomes deafening, until it becomes a possibility for us to usher in an era of peace led by the youth, led by amazing minds all over the world. So we come together from different places with from different backgrounds and we share our thoughts with one goal, and that is to establish a long or lasting peace in our time. Even if peace is ephemeral, we need to do the best that we can to establish a stronger peace for the next generations to come. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shukran to everyone. And I hope to see you in the next one.
Shukran. Thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Yusuf Paglas, for that challenge or for challenging us to move forward from intention to impact. We need to amplify our voices as young people. With that, let's give him a big round of applause for sustaining that talk or that panel discussion. So as we close to this forum, you guys will look ahead to what lies beyond January 2026. This is the last day of January 2026, toward a deeper institutionalization of youth leadership, peace education, and regional collaboration. So to present the 2026 IPPF roadmap and formally close our program, may I invite Dr. Ingel Ra, the Regional President of Global Peace Foundation Asia Pacific.
Thank you, Adrian. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining the Indo-Pacific Peace Forum Youth Edition. As we come to the close of today, finally, this session, almost 2 hours, I would like to begin with the one heartfelt message. Thank you, Sukram, Terima kasih, Salamat po. Thank you to our speakers, our partners, our committee members, and especially to the youth leaders who joined us today with the hope, courage, and purpose. Today was more than a program, right? It was a reminder that even in a world facing division and uncertainty, peace is still possible when people choose to build it together. From Kampung Sawah in Indonesia, we witnessed a living example of interfaith harmony and community trust, showing us that peace is not only something we restore after conflict, but something we can protect and practice every single day. From Mindanao and Bam in the Philippines, we were reminded that peace can also be rebuilt after hardship through healing, inclusion, and long-term transformation. These experiences show us two essential pillars of peace building: prevention and restoration. And from the youth voices connected to Palestine, I appreciated Mr. Muhammad and East Africa Khalid and the Korean Juhyun and Hirion. We heard also the Mindanao from our speaker. We heard something powerful. Even in difficult realities, young people continues to rise as voice of courage and bridge for future. That is why the vision of Peace Forum, Indo-Pacific Peace Forum, and Global Peace Foundation, one family under God, matters so deeply. It reminds us that beyond borders, beliefs, and histories, we share one human family. And peace begins with the dignity and shared responsibility. As we move forward, today should not end as a meaningful, beautiful discussion you made. It should become a movement. Allow me to highlight the 2026 Indo-Pacific Peace Forum roadmap in three directions. First, we're going to strengthen our Global Peace Leadership Core as a youth leadership pathway. Our forum recognizes the Lead 360 Asia is part of the Global Peace Leadership Core program as a youth-led leadership movement driven by Indonesian youth and then strengthened by young leaders across the region, turning youth passion into purpose and the purpose into real action for peace. Second, scaling peace models through prevention and restoration. We will strengthen, document, and adopt the lessons of Kampung Sawah and the BAM so communities can learn from one another across different circumstances. Third, expanding global youth collaborations. We will deepen youth exchange and partnership across Southeast Asia and the Middle East, Africa, and the Korean Peninsula through shared learning, joint initiatives, and the stronger platforms for collaboration. Before we close, I would like to leave you with one final thought. Peace is not built by perfect conditions. Never. Peace is built by people who refuse to give up humanity. To every young leaders here today, you are not the leaders of tomorrow. Like Dr. Murray in the beginning, he emphasized, we are leaders of today. Thank you again for being with us and congratulations on meaningful and impactful forum today. May we continue this journey together as one family and build a future worthy of the next generations. Thank you and have a wonderful day. 감사합니다. Salamat po.
Kamsahamnida. Truly, we are the leaders of today. Thank you so much, Dr. Raf, for giving us the roadmap of the IPPF 2026. That concludes our forum today, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you so much. Maraming salamat po. Terima kasih banyak semuanya. To all our speakers, partners, and participants for being part of the shared journey toward peace. Let us carry today's insights forward, not only in words, but in action. Good day and peace to all. Bye.
Thank you all. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Modi.
Thank you, Khalid. Thank you, Ju.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Aldran. Congratulations. Bye for now.
Thank you.